Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to make a quick video today about a little bit of what goes into building out training programs, both for myself and for clients. So this is something that I get asked a lot, and just something that comes up a lot in my line of work. This isn't just kind of some like random cookie cutter, like Monday chest day, Tuesday back day kind of thing, or upper lower. Technically, we do kind of structure based on that, but we'll get into that. A lot of people end up doing workouts that don't match their goals in particular or their lifestyle, and that's where progress ends up stalling. That's where we hit plateaus much earlier than we expect, or we're just not seeing the gains that we want to. So first things first, we don't want any nonsense cookie cutter plans, right? So it's definitely a great idea to start with an upper lower split or an Arnold split, something like that, to get the ideas rolling. But remember that whatever workout routine that you're looking up, Jay Cutler's FST7 program, right? Well, that's awesome. And there's some great scientific ideas that are found in that workout routine. However, that workout routine is built specifically for Jay Cutler by Haney Rambod, the legendary bodybuilding coach, right? So that is exactly for him. So if you take that workout routine, you will definitely see some gains, but it's not specifically built for you, for your recovery time, for the muscle groups that you need to improve, right? So everyone's a little bit different. Everyone has a different work schedule. Everyone has a different recovery ability. Everyone has a different training history, right? Everyone has different goals, right? So if you take Jay Cutler's plan, well, he's Mr. Olympia. He needs to look as big as possible, have gigantic quads. But if you're doing, say, men's classic physique, or even I've seen women take this routine for like bikini competition or women's physique, those are totally different goals. And so you're not going to end up with the physique that you want. We're trying to sculpt here. So we look at ourselves as scientific artists as bodybuilders, or we should. So we have an exact idea of how we want to look, and we sculpt that out of clay. In this case, we are the clay. So a little bit of how, and we're, like I said, I'm not going into extreme depth here, but I'm just giving you ideas and helping you inspire to either build your own routine from scratch or work with someone that's willing to build it for you. Some things that I look at when I'm making my own routine, as well as the ones for my clients, are mostly lifestyle, right? And then your goals. So for instance, goals are you trying to lean out if you're trying to get shredded? Are you trying to put size on? Because that's totally different. Are you trying to prep for a show? Or do you just want to look good under lighting for Instagram or YouTube? Are you just trying to stay consistent and either just get healthy, like say you're at 30% body fat and you want to get into that 10 to 20 range? Or are you trying to get exotically lean, like 6% body fat for a male? Or maybe we'll say 12 to 15% for a woman, right? These are realistic numbers, by the way, for natural bodybuilders, natural physique competitors. So also, how many days of a week makes sense for you? Like, this is lifestyle stuff, right? So how many days a week can you offer? I'm not going to have you do 6 days a week if you only have 4 days for me. How much volume can you actually handle, right? Before you start falling apart and overtraining within 2-3 weeks, when realistically, I'm doing my best to kind of push you towards 8 weeks before you have to deload, at least 4 weeks. But if I can push a little bit further, obviously, the more the merrier. We want you to improve, right? I want my clients to improve. I don't just want you to like burn out and exhaust, go through the motions. I want to see constant strength improvement, constant physique improvement wherever we're trying to go with this. We're looking at progression and just overall training smarter, right? So a really big thing that I use for this is what's called reps in reserve. I'm sure most of you guys know what this is, or you can at least figure out kind of what that means. You'll also see that as RIR, but reps in reserve. It means how many reps that you have before you fail out, right? You have to adjust your intensity from week to week. So we're not trying to guess your way through the training plan. We want some structure of exactly how far we're pushing into the workout as we go. That's another thing that we can use to A, recover on time, and B, push a little bit further without having to deload. Now, for like physique focus athletes, I'll use myself as an example. I do classic physique, natural men's classic physique. So something that's really important for me is upper chest, side delts, and overall just trying to make that V taper, which is coming down like this into a small waist, as good as possible, right? I want as much of a V as possible so that you get that aesthetic and you have a better chance of winning against the other guys up there. So I'm not trying to build up, say, really large abs. I would rather be more interested in keeping my waist small than doing heavy deadlifts and growing my obliques, for instance, which is nothing wrong with that, by the way. But if you're trying to specifically win in the sport of classic physique, that's something you keep in mind, right? These areas of focus will shift your look on stage. So a solid plan should emphasize that. Don't just throw everything at the wall and see what happens. That's more of a casual way of lifting and just enjoying the gym in general, which is amazing. But if you are a physique athlete, we don't just hit your body as hard as we can and see what muscles happen to grow. Maybe in the early stages, but not as we become more and more advanced. If your current plan isn't cutting it for you guys, by the way, or if you want something that's a little bit more tailored to exactly what you need, I do offer custom coaching, and I have templates that you can work with as well. Just go in the description, check it out. Most important, if there's anything that I haven't touched on or something that you just want me to dive deeper into, like how I structure splits, progression models, how I use reps in reserve as the weeks go on, or even just how I set up my own personal split and what my split looks like, just drop a comment below, and I would love to break that down in future videos. Again, like I said, mostly this is just to kind of inspire you guys to either build out your training splits a little bit more artistically and scientifically. I like to merge those two things, or seek out someone that's willing to do that for you at a reasonable price. Sometimes maybe someone will even work with you for free, although I would recommend consulting with someone that's going to charge you at least a little bit, because this is someone that respects their own knowledge and has worked with a lot of people. My own 2 cents, obviously, I'm going to come from the mindset of a personal trainer, and I'm going to lean a little bit more that way. But anyway, if there's something that you want me to go deeper on, just let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.